How can his data have suddenly changed? Is this why you're showing up at the apartment instead of letting us know at the clinic? Because you want more money?
Mrs. McCormick, your son is an irregular case, and money won't change anything now.
Maybe you made a mistake. A lot of kids have blue eyes and blonde hair, and it changes when they get older. I'm sure that's it.
Look, even the eyes of infants don't change from blue to dark brown in a matter of hours. You mentioned that the crib was put into a bedroom that had excessive sunlight?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Then his eyes adjusted to the new environment, triggering genes that created more melanin for his eyes and skin.
That doesn't mean he's now unlicensed.
But he soon will be at this rate. His base genes are switching on and off depending on his environmental stimuli. But those genetic changes are supposed to happen over generations, not hours.
I won't give him away.
If you want to raise a child and have a family, you're gonna have to. Right now, everything is in the 12 months trial period. Since you and your husband are middle class, you're only allowed to have one offspring. So if you keep him, he will be taken away, and you will have used your permit to have a child.
This isn't happening. I hear about those things all the time in the news, but I always thought it was just someone else. How could he ever turn into one of those unlicensed things? This isn't right.
Since when do things ever turn out right for us? But that changes now. We will have a normal child.
If you give him away, you will have another chance to start a family.
You are absolutely sure he will become an unlicensed in a few days?
Yes.
That I never had a son.
The human genome has been mapped, and genetics has finally become a commodity. The term human had to be redefined to licensed and unlicensed.
I think she's inside. Yeah, it's definitely that female. Do they walk you through the procedures? Because I can't stand screw-ups.
Yes, they did. And I would appreciate it if you didn't treat me like a noob. I've done my homework. I know how things are supposed to be done.
You're certainly not getting off on the right foot with me, are you, noob? You know, I was in the service already, shooting people in the face while you were busy downloading porn for the first time. So don't act tough with me. I can see you're already nervous.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Don't tell me you're not nervous.
We all get nervous. You just get used to it. This is supposed to be just a routine checkup anyway.
Then why is he here?
Because that's our unofficial cannon fodder. If a suspect gets violent, we just send in a scourge unit. We're not allowed to carry weapons or anything. We just go in and apprehend someone. It's just how it works.
Isn't it hypocritical to use the unlicensed if we're trying to get rid of them?
Well, we still get rid of them. They serve us for limited rights. And if they get hurt or injured, well, we just have a policy where we can't treat them. You know, I've never met a scourge that made it to retirement. All right, let's go. Are you Gillian Brent?
Who's asking?
We're with the Genetics Regulation Department. Just want to ask a few questions.
I'm not interested. Get lost. Unless you have some sort of warrant, don't waste my time.
I'm sorry, yeah, you wanted a warrant. Here's my warrant.
Sorry, but you've been watching too many crime drama reruns. We don't need any warrants.
Let's have a talk in the living room, shall we?
So this is where my tax dollars are going right now. Hassling people?
Well, we'll know about the people thing in a moment, won't we? Wilcox, scan her.
You guys must be real proud, right? Real cops are probably arresting gangbangers or stopping serial killers, but you? Why'd you guys join the GRD anyways? Couldn't pass the physical? Did they have a better donut and coffee incentive?
I swear, if this scan says you're unlicensed, I will shoot you right here and now.
Look, there won't be any need for that. Her genetic sequencing is just for allergies, heart disease, mental illness, and diabetes. Everything within regulation.
We're not done yet.
Look, I don't think...
No, you don't think, do you, noob? Get out in the hallway. Now.
So what now? Are you gonna beat me?
I want to know about the domestic disturbance.
Couples argue all the time. That isn't against the law.
It's different when it involves the genetically engineered.
The hell is wrong with you, you uberphobe? Aren't you supposed to protect the civilian rights, not spit on them?
Look, human rights are based on one fundamental thing, that we're all born equal. But genetically engineered humans are proof that we're not born equal. Not anymore. So if anyone endangers human rights, it's your kind.
So you expect me to believe that you do this for the greater good?
I do this so society doesn't break down. Call me an uberphobe all you want, but you wouldn't want the unlicensed getting equal rights either. The moment they do, none of us would last in this competitive society. You want to be ruled by abominations? Those who are stronger and faster than us? They have lifespans of 200 to 300 years, immune to every disease we've ever known or made.
fed to tyrants.
Genetics isn't just about fixing lactose intolerance. There are genes that can make you greedy, violent, more ambitious. So if we let just a few of them slip by, it'll be the end of us all. So why don't you just let me do my job so I can check you off the list as a harmless, licensed civilian?
My boyfriend and I just had a fight. That's all. If there's any aggression, it was him throwing stuff.
Where is he now?
He stormed off. He said he crashed at his brother's place for a while.
I see.
Look, I'm just as regular as anyone. All I want is a peaceful, good life. I didn't have a choice in how I was born, just like you. That's not the definition of born equal. I don't know what is.
Let her go.
I'm not taking requests today, sorry. I knew it. I fucking knew it!
You stole my cell phone without me noticing it. That's some serious speed and muscle control you have there. How did you do it? Your file said that you're licensed.
I am licensed. You just don't have the complete file. Thanks to my daddy, who's a senator. He wants his lineage to remain in power. He calls it bloodline of global leaders. So society will be saved. Through us. Genetically superior in every way. Shoot her! The age of Homo superior starts now.
You idiot! You forgot to load your gun! Fucking noob!
Shove it up your ass, you uberphobic bitch. That includes you, newbie.
Someone fucked up. Did you call it in?
Yeah, I did. Don't waste your time. We're interns. We wouldn't even be here if it wasn't so close to our route.
Well, if you want to be a GRD agent one day, you might want to show some initiative. Clean neck snap on both of them. And the boyfriend had his neck snapped in the kitchen. Scourge unit must have blown a gasket in here and gone on a killing spree.
Do you really think it was the Scourge unit?
Who else would it be? The girl?
Listen, I don't want to meet an unlicensed who went batshit crazy. I don't mind waiting for promotion a little bit longer, but I don't want to end up like those two.
Look, he ain't coming back after kidnapping the licensed girl.
So, what do we do now?
We wait for the senior officers to arrive. Remember, the extermination units are out there. That Scourge is as good as dead.
She's stronger and faster than the ones that came before her. And possibly even stronger than me. Her parents must have spent a fortune on her genetics.
We don't have to fight, you and I. This conflict is very unnecessary.
How benevolent of you. And they say we Übermenschen are savages.
You know, I never really liked the term Übermensch. It has a lot of negative historical context. Clearly, you must see that the term is just used as propaganda by current oligarchic rulers who know that their days are numbered.
If you say so.
I can tell by your facial structure and body type that you're an accidental unlicensed. Nothing was engineered with strategy behind it. Everything on you is very random.
If that's your version of flattery, it's not really working.
I'm offering you a better life by joining our cause. I'm building an elite army, one that will spearhead the beginning of a new society. One that has room for even the more limited engineered. All I ask for is your unquestionable loyalty. If you value survival, I'd say it's a pretty easy decision to make. I am the future of the human species. In me is the bloodline of rulers for millennia to come.
Bloodline of rulers. This is bad comedy. I'm not your pawn. A golden cage is still a cage.
So instead of a bird in a cage, you'd rather be a bird eaten by worms, such as the GRD. Fine. Someone as inferior as you doesn't belong in my world.
Maybe I won't be that inferior after I ram my fist down your gullet.
I'd like to see you try.
Scourge Unit 3559. Surrender and do not leave the premises.
Well, if the extermination units don't get you now, I'll kill you next time.
Female bystander, return for interrogation. This is the only warning. Scourge Unit 3559. You have been charged for the murder of Beverly Johnson and Jeff Wilcox. Do not resist arrest.
So what did your wife say about all this?
She doesn't know. And I don't think she'd want to.
Well, how can you be so certain if you haven't asked her?
She's already planning to have a baby girl when she's finished university. My wife insists that it has to be a baby girl and that there can be no genetic modification. She already picked a name. Veronica.
So I guess she's doing her best to forget Fabian.
As far as both of us are concerned, he never existed.
Reminding you of last year can't be pleasant, which is why I appreciate you helping out.
It might sound cliche, but the only good unlicensed is a dead unlicensed.
Well, actually, the best unlicensed is one that's never been born.
But can it really be done, Doctor, or is that just wishful thinking?
You know the difference between wishful thinking and progress? It's facts and data, and I have plenty of it.
It's hard to believe that this is even a possible reality. A world without those abominations.
Fabian's genes constantly evolved to adapt to his environment, and it seemed endless. That's the key. All we need is funding and technology. And I know people who have access to both. Might take decades, but when the time comes, we will find the secret to the end of the UBERMENSCH.
My cell phone should block the signal on my spinal cord, or at least until the battery runs out. She was right. I should have joined her. But she's an extremist, and I don't trust extremists. They have a tendency to sacrifice people for their own delusions.
I know who you are.
Excuse me?
You can trust me. I won't rat you out.
Look, lady, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're unlicensed, and the extermination units are looking for you. I know everything about you.
I think you're watching too much news. I'm gonna go now.
You're 33 years old, and your genes are still changing.
Now, how would you know that?
If I tell you, you wouldn't believe me.
Try me.
I'm your sister.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't believe you.
This contains a chip with a frequency. Just take it.
Warning, 7 minutes until battery depletion.
I hope this is not a trap. The chip and frequency is draining my cell phone faster. This better be worth it.
I always wondered if you would make it, Fabian.
Who are you?
Your biological father.
Sure you are. So what is this? Some kind of a college prank between you and that girl?
That girl was my genetically unmodified daughter. It might be hard for you to believe, but I'm a sentient hologram from 23 years ago that was recorded and implanted in your spinal cord.
Funny. I don't see a resemblance.
Because, Fabian, after 33 years of evolving genes, any resemblance would be coincidental at this point.
And what's your story? You're the hologram of the sales clerk that sold my old man his hologram?
No, I'm the hologram of the doctor that gave your old man his hologram.
This is nonsense. So what now? You guys gonna lead me to some secret fortress? And teach me how to fly?
No. I'm asking you to turn yourself in so they won't execute you on the spot.
What?
Do you know why you're still alive? The doctor who made this hologram forged papers 33 years ago to have your termination avoided.
Warning, 5 minutes until
That
battery
way,
depletion.
you could be segregated with the lower danger unlicensed kids to be used as laborers at a later date. He, or I, knew immediately what you were.
And what would that be?
A prime example of evolutionary biology.
We're keeping you alive so that mankind can evolve away from the unlicensed.
I'll be blunt. The doctor and your father hope to convince officials to have you turned into a primary test subject. The idea being that if we can analyze your genetic triggering, maybe we could modify genetic humans so they don't turn into Ubermenschen. Like introducing a permanent genetic limit to the human genome. Unfortunately, bureaucracy moves so slow these days that such a request got turned into a shelved file without revealing your identity. And then, of course, there's the complete train wreck with the dead GRD agents in the news. The media's now all over you, which is why our real-life older counterparts are triggering this holographic interaction now.
So listen to me, Fabian. We have a chance to save society from the Ubermensch. If you turn yourself in and explain your useful genetic condition, they won't kill you.
You mean at least not immediately?
Trust me, for you right now, that's a good deal.
Sorry. Not as good of a deal as you think.
Damn it, Fabian. The clock is ticking. This isn't about you, or the doctor, or your biological parents. This is about the survival of our society.
Warning, 3 minutes until battery depletion.
Oh, I know. I already met an Übermensch that wants to be on top of the food chain. And she's already building up an army.
Then you know. It's just a matter of time till one of them succeeds. Never mind strength and lifespan. And you also know that the one thing you Ubermenschen possess that can put you on top of the world order is intelligence. Listen, if we can't avoid them taking over for humans, at least help us postpone it. We may just be holograms, but our main function is to help humans survive at least a little bit longer.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
And what would that be?
A little secret about evolution that might surprise you.
Sure.
Intelligence is not a survival trait, but an evolutionary mutation that leads to self-destruction. Bacteria, it's very unintelligent, has been around for a few billion years. Insects have been around for a few 100 million years. Meanwhile, 99% of all mammals in history have already gone extinct. And human beings are going extinct as we speak, ever since they started destroying the ecosystem. So you tell me, Doctor, with all that evidence out there, what chances do you think does the Übermensch have?
Well, that can't be.
Warning. 1 minute until battery depletion.
Cheer up, Doctor. You wanted something that will stop the evolution of the unlicensed. Well, there you have it. It's ego. The unpleasant side effect of intelligence. Same ego that doomed your species.
So, what do we do now, Fabian?
My name is Scourge. And there's nothing we can do. You guys are just holograms. And I'm a hunted unlicensed.
Warning. 25 seconds until battery depletion.
Are there any conclusions that you have, Doctor?
Well, I guess when all's said and done, mankind could have been a little nicer to each other.
Shutting down.
I wonder. Unlike technology, human nature is cyclical and not linear. Maybe that confusion created a predicament. Well, I guess I will no longer find out.
Scourge 3559 for resisting arrest and the murder of 2 GID agents. The execution will be carried out immediately.
You missed.